Hi, my name is Alma and I'm from Denmark. Please press subscribe to the channel. My parents met in Copenhagen. My dad was a scientist and didn't earn much.
You call this a salary? I could barely afford toothpaste with this.
By the time Judith and I were born, our parents had decided to divorce.
She doesn't look like me at all. But your girls are twins. She has the father's hair. I don't want to be reminded of that loser.
Mom left me at the hospital.
It's okay, baby. We'll be all right.
I hadn't heard anything from Mom or my sister since. When I turned 4, Dad finally gave up on being a scientist.
I got a new job. We're moving, Alma.
Soon we moved to the Faroe Islands. Our new home was on a small wild island. Dad worked as a lighthouse caretaker, and that's where we lived. Are Mom and Judith going to visit us?
Forget about them. We'll be fine, just the two of us.
Dad wasn't lying. Living in a lighthouse was awesome. We turned on the light together when the weather was bad, and when it wasn't, we rode boats and fished in the ocean.
Who are you? Mr. Nicholson, a fisherman from the neighboring island.
Dad and Mr. Nicholson quickly found a common language, and we started fishing together.
Alma, you're such a sweet child. Here, I have a gift for you.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Thank you.
I carved the dolphin myself. Let it be your good luck charm.
The neighboring island, Vagar, was much larger than the one we lived on. There was a whole city on it. When I started school, Dad took me there on our boat.
Jeez, look at her. She's a savage from a backwater island. Do they even have internet there?
Back off, or you'll be arrested.
Let's go. They're wackos.
You okay? Never better. I'm Lily. When I grow up, I want to be a tough sheriff like my dad. Lily became my best friend. One day, we were watching the private diary channel in my room. You got a text. I don't know who it's from. This is... Oh, wow! Other than her hair, she's your exact copy. That's Judith. I didn't know anything about my mom or sister. Can you imagine how shocked I was when I got a message from her? What is she saying? This makes no sense. She's telling me to get off the island. She's probably joking, right? I immediately texted Judith back. Why would I? I kept staring at my phone but was left unread. Lily stayed over, and we quickly fell asleep. But I couldn't stop thinking about Judith. Dad got back after fishing late that evening, and I decided to talk to him. Tell me about Mom and Judith. I deserve to know the truth.
Okay. If you really want that, your mother married a rich man after our divorce. She and Judith want for nothing.
Judith sent me a message today. What could it mean?
I recently saw your mom's new husband on the news. Judith was mentioned. She's apparently quite the troublemaker now. You shouldn't talk to her. That was probably just a prank. If I were you, I would block her number.
She's my sister!
Neither Judith nor your mom care about us. What matters is we have each other.
The next morning, Dad drove Lily and me to school. It's dangerous there. Why? I texted Judith back, but she didn't read it. That evening, her account was blocked. In the evening, I wandered along the beach and thought about Judith's words. Dad was probably right. She was just messing with me. Before I knew it, I got to the other side of the island. Dad and I hardly ever went there. I was about to head back home when I saw some silhouettes among the rocks. Who's there? When I tried to take a closer look at them, the figures disappeared into the fog. I probably just imagined it. It was dark by the time I got back to the lighthouse. A strong wind had risen and a storm rolled in. Dad hasn't got back from the Vagar yet. What is he going to do? All of a sudden, I heard a deep voice.
Help!
I turned around and saw a guy walking along the shore. Hey, who are you?
Help!
He almost fell over, but I managed to catch him and helped him reach the lighthouse. What happened? Where did you come from?
You. I know you.
Hey, don't you dare die on me, you hear? He seems to be breathing. Dad, you're back!
I am exhausted. It's a miracle I got home safe in such weather. Who's that?
I met him on the beach. The poor guy fainted. He must have got caught in the storm.
Okay, he can stay here tonight. We'll figure out what to do tomorrow. No doctor would come here now anyway.
I spent the whole night in the living room. The guy was breathing heavy. He seemed to be having a nightmare. The next morning, someone woke me up. Oh, you're awake. Are you feeling better? What's your name?
Slow down. My head is killing me. I'm Ian, I think.
You think?
That's all I remember. Wait, no. I also remember you, your face and red hair. Is there something you want to tell me?
I'm so confused. Dad, I swear this is the first time I'm seeing him. Could he have met Judith?
Her hair's brown, not red.
We meant to take Ian to Vagar and contact the police, but the storm hadn't ended yet.
According to the weather forecast, it won't end for at least a few more days. We can't leave the island in such weather.
Dad called Mr. Nicholson so he could ask the local fishermen if they knew anything about Ian. Meanwhile, I called Lily. Wow, Wow, your life is insane. I'll try to find out about your mysterious stranger. You'll tell the sheriff about Ian, right? Not for the world. I'll try to get to the bottom of it myself first. I want to be a cop, remember? Later, Dad searched the beach and came home with some news.
I found a damaged motorboat near the rocks. Ian must have got here on it. I'm calling the police.
However, Dad soon realized there was no signal on the island.
Great, the power's out. There's no internet either. This frickin' storm.
The fact that we were completely isolated made me uneasy. That night, I was woken up by a terrifying scream.
No, I don't want to.
Hey, wake up!
Alma?
Phew! You scared the heck out of me!
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
The next morning, Dad headed to the other side of the island.
I hope there'll be signal there. You and Ian should find some candles in the closet while I'm gone. Don't just sit in the dark. I guess you haven't been here in a while.
Shut up and help me look.
Do either of you play the violin?
I went to a music school when I was a kid, but I was rubbish and quickly gave up. To my surprise, Ian picked up the bow and started to play. He was amazing! Wow, you're a music guru!
I think the violin means a lot to me. The sound is comforting, just like your presence.
Ian looked into my eyes, and for some reason, I felt shy. Let's go light the candles. Dad came back in the evening. He hadn't managed to contact anyone, but the next morning, the sea calmed down a bit.
I'm off to Vagar. You two stay here.
At first, I sat at home with Ian, but then I decided to go for a walk. So many weird things have happened lately. I wonder if Judith's warning was just a coincidence or if she knew something. Although she's in Copenhagen, not on the Faroes. The next moment, I heard voices and went in the direction they were coming from. Soon, I hid behind some rocks to watch two men in uniforms.
2 teenagers have escaped. If we don't bring them back, we'll all be fired.
I didn't get what was going on or who those men were. Then one of them left. I was trying to figure out where he went. Gotcha! They grabbed me and dragged me somewhere. Let me go!
Don't even think about running again.
We stopped among the rocks on the far end of the island. To my shock, I saw a massive iron door. What the? When we got inside, I was left speechless. There was a whole complex with living quarters and classrooms hidden in the rocks. They even had a gym there. The guards locked me in a room and left. I knew you'd get caught. Did you think you were smarter than everyone, Judith? What did you just call me? Has being free scrambled your brain? You're Judith, I'm Kate. We're at a smelly boarding school for troubled teens. Does this girl think I'm Judith? Was my sister here too? I tried to hide my surprise and find out more. You're right, I'm missing some memories. So, this is a boarding school? Are you serious? Rich parents send their kids here when they don't want to deal with them. Our principal is a total psycho. He experiments on us. Experiments? He makes us draw, listen to strange music, and fill out stupid questionnaires. This school is illegal, but no one cares because its sponsors are filthy rich. But come on, quit pretending. That's when I saw a familiar emblem on the wall. The guards had one just like it on their uniforms. Why are you so surprised? It's just our school's coat of arms. For some reason, it seemed familiar to me. Where had I seen it before? It also seemed strange to me that the power at the school was on. That evening, the guards led us to the dining room. The principal's such a nasty old man. Mr. Nicholson? So you do remember. That's when I realized why the school's coat of arms seemed so familiar to me. Mr. Nicholson had given me a figurine that looked like it when I was a kid. I wanted to talk to him, but he'd already left. Is living here really that bad? Are you kidding me? Even the army isn't as strict. This one kid was sent here simply because he was having nightmares. I realized Kate was probably talking about Ian. He must have escaped from the school. The guards took away all the students' phones, but they hadn't searched me, and I secretly filmed everything that was going on at the school. Before going to bed, I was brought to the computer room by the security guards.
Someone wants to talk to you.
Judith?
Mom?
Sweetie, how are you?
Just like everyone else, Mom mistook me for my sister. I decided to play along. It's horrible. This place is terrible. How else would I feel?
I was hoping you would change. I really was.
During our talk, I found out everything I needed. Judith only found out about my existence recently. She immediately demanded to meet me, but Mom was against it. Then Judith's rich stepfather decided to send her to the strict boarding school. He was one of its biggest sponsors. But why did you abandon Alma? What did she do?
I've already told you 1,000 times. What was I supposed to do with 2 babies? You should thank me for keeping you. Alma is nothing but a stranger to me.
I never felt so hurt by someone's words before. Pissed off, I hung up. At night, I woke up when I felt someone looking at me.
Alma, get up.
At first, my blood ran cold, but then I recognized Ian. What are you doing here?
Helping you escape.
Wow, where did you get the card?
One of the girls that ran away gave it to me. By the way, she really wants to meet you.
Judith was waiting for us outside. We didn't have any time to talk and just ran to the lighthouse. I only felt safe once we were inside. Your hair. Well, I am a rebel. I'm so glad to finally meet you. I'm glad too, sis. Judith said she overheard a conversation between her stepfather and Mr. Nicholson. That's how I found out they were going to send me to a boarding school, and that you lived here too. I found your social media and tried to warn you, but then they took my phone away and blocked my account.
While you were gone, I remembered everything. I come from a rich family and I've been playing the violin since I was a kid. My parents invested a lot of money in promoting me, but my schedule was so intense I couldn't sleep and started having nightmares. Several doctors tried to help me, but I disrupted concerts, and my parents eventually sent me to that school.
But you didn't get better, did you?
I only got worse. That's why I ran away. But then I slipped on the rocks and I must have hit my head, and that's why I couldn't remember anything for a while.
I'm so sorry that you both had to go through that. Where's Dad?
He hasn't come back since yesterday.
We decided to wait for Dad at the lighthouse. Oh, the signal's back! I tried to send Lily the video I'd filmed at school, but the signal was too weak. Eventually, Dad came back.
Judith, is that you?
When we told him everything, Dad was horrified.
We need to get out of here, right? And go to Vagar right now.
We quickly got on our boat and set sail. It was so foggy we could barely see anything, but we soon reached the shore. Is it just me, or was that too fast?
It's not just you.
When we saw Mr. Nicholson and the familiar door, I thought I was going crazy. Did you mean to bring us here?
This is for the best, honey. You did a great job, assistant.
Assistant? You knew about everything?
When my career went downhill, Mr. Nicholson offered me a job as a research assistant. The lighthouse was just a cover. The boarding school is a personal project of mine. I study the emotions and behaviors of teenage troublemakers, and your father is a great help. Alma, you should stay at the school until you've calmed down.
How could you do that? Judith is your daughter!
The school has strict rules, but they exist for your own good. Come on in.
The situation seemed hopeless. We had nowhere to run, but then...
Police! Nobody move!
I got your message!
I told you, stay on the boat and keep your head down!
I was the one who solved the case!
You don't know who you're messing with!
The sheriff didn't let them get away with it. The school did have rich sponsors, but we managed to get justice. The school was closed, and Mr. Nicholson and my dad were arrested. You feeling alright? This sucks, but I'm trying not to despair. Did your stepfather get in trouble too? Yeah, he and Mom are getting divorced. Soon Mom came to the Faroes to get Judith. Fine, Alma, you can come with us. I got some money and a large mansion after the divorce. No, you're nothing but a stranger to me. I'm not going anywhere with you either. I'm staying with my sister. Mom didn't even try to change our minds. To her credit, she rented a small house for us on Vagar. I didn't want to look back anymore. The past should stay in the past. Oh, Alma, you're so lucky. Look at your boyfriend go. He's not only talented, but also really handsome. Stop it. Ian got away from his parents and was accepted into a conservatory. We live in different cities, but we still often see each other. By the way, Judith and I got into college, and Lily fulfilled her dream and is now studying to become an investigator. The boarding school on the island is abandoned now. I hope it will stay that way.